Sare gare sare gare sare gare sa.
Take a drive in how far you have come. Have faith in how far you can go. To a complete journey organized by GHRLAW Law School.
GHRLAW Law School is one of the most prestigious and most sought after law schools of Central India. GHRLAW Law School is a center for quality law education and is constantly thriving in the face of change. We provide multitude of options to usher the students a bright future.
Related by a man of knowledge, our principal, Dr. GHRLAW sir. He is always willing to engage his students in a purposeful activity which has all the promise of success and fulfillment. Now, I would like to request Principal Sir to deliver introductory remarks.
Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Chief Justice or former Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Honorable Justice Gilani, the former Judge of the Bombay High Court and sitting Attorney General of Maharashtra, respected Sunil Manohar, and Honorable Chairman of Raisoni Group of Institutions, Sri Sunil Raisoni, my colleagues, invited guests, dignitaries and my students. Today is a very auspicious occasion. We are here for the new beginning. And the new beginning is this, that Raisoni Group of Institutions believe in excellence. We are going for the excellence. In a sense, we want the students to develop. We want the students to be enriched with the knowledge. We want the students to equip with skill, and from that point of view, we are commencing a new phase of life for them. We have started the sessions of the seminar. In every semester there shall be a seminar for the purpose of writing the research papers, for the purpose of presentation of the research papers, and for the purpose of enriching yourself with the research. This is the mission which GHRLAW Law College shall commence. There is every possibility that in the beginning the students may not be so nice. There is every possibility that in the trial and error process they shall equip themselves well. But we have to equip. We have to develop ourselves. This is the motto. This is the purpose. On this occasion, students, we got the best of the jurist people present in the country. We have Justice Jayant Patel, we have Justice Rohi, Justice Gilani, and a young person, the Advocate General of Maharashtra, who has just come out of that. This is a young lot we have. I want you all to stand up and give a standing ovation to all these dignitaries. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
A very good morning to this august gathering. I welcome Honorable Justice Sri Jayant Patel, former Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court, Honorable Justice M.N. Gilani, Member Maharashtra Administrative Tribunal, Advocate Sri Sunil Manohar, former Advocate General of Maharashtra, Justice Rohi, Dr. Srikant Kumar, Principal of BACL, Main Branch, Dr. Ashok Pawde, Head of Department of Law, Yeshwant Mahavidyalaya, Dr. GHRLAW Aparajit, invited guests, ladies, gentlemen, and my dear students from all over Maharashtra, teaching and non-teaching staff of Raisoni Group of Institution. I extend my warm wishes to one and all present here. It is my privilege to welcome you all for the celebration of knowledge festivity. We are all here for the inaugural function of one-day seminar, state-level seminar on aftermath of National Judicial Appointment Commission Act 2014. It's always an endeavor from GHRLAW School to strive hard for promotion of research-based activities in the field of legal education and make available the best opportunities to young aspiring lawyers. Today's seminar is one such step forward. As the chairman of Raisoni Group of Institution, I would like to welcome participants from different colleges of Maharashtra and hope that today's discussion and presentation will bring fruitful results. I also register my acknowledgement for your efforts. My best wishes to the participants and organizers. I am sure this seminar will be a grand success. Thank you.
I request the dignitaries to enlighten the traditional life. It will be found, in fact, that the ingenious are always the truly imaginative level otherwise than analytic. On I request Shri Sunilji Raisoni sir to welcome and felicitate our guest of honor, former Justice M.N. Gilani sir with shawl, Shrifal, memento and floral bouquet.
The essence of all beautiful heart, all great heart is gratitude. I now request sir to welcome and felicitate former Advocate General of Maharashtra, Shri Sunil Manohar sir with shawl, Shrifal, memento and a bouquet.
All who join goodwill must share in happiness was born a twin. I would like to request Sunil Raisoni sir to welcome and felicitate Mr. GHRLAW sir, Justice, with the shawl, Shrifal, memento and floral bouquet as a token of love appreciation from GHRLAW Law School.
The beautiful stillness that surrounds you when you hear an author's word reverberating in your head.
Apurvaha kopi kosheyam vikriti tava Vedato Vrittamayati Kshayamayati Sanchayat. He believes in treasure of knowledge. If spent, it grows. If unused, it becomes less. He is respected Dr. D.K. Madhav sir, who has manifested his insight in the subject of political science through his book, Political Science, Principles, Ideas and Concepts. I would like to invite sir to request the notable dignitaries on the dais to release the book.
Just release this book, Dr.
Making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about change and cooking. It's about harnessing imagination, empowerment and creativity. Women are real architecture of society.
These views have been put forward in a form of a book by Mrs. Bhagyashree Deshpande Naulakhe. Ma'am is working as an assistant professor at GHRLAW College of Law, Amravati. She has also submitted a doctorate under the guidance of Aprajit sir. Ma'am, I invite you and request the honorable guest of today's function to release her book. In 1993, he has appointed as a designated judge of special court instituted to try Bombay blast cases. He was also appointed as an additional judge of Bombay High Court on 11th March 1996 and a permanent judge on 7th Jan 1997. He was posted as a judge at Nagpur bench in June 1997 till 2006. During his tenure as a judge in Bombay High Court, he was appointed as acting Chief Justice on 3 occasions. While he was acting Chief Justice, he was transferred to the High Court at Calcutta as a Chief Justice in 2010 and retired on 4th October 2012.
Your Lordships hold a
My esteemed colleagues, Justice Rohit, Justice Gilani, Professor Aprajit, another colleague of mine with whom I started my career in law, and Mr. Sunil Manohar. When I became a judge, I was a young lawyer, and you can say I actually wanted him to come over and become a judge, but Mr. Sunil Manohar is reluctant. He wants to serve the people in a better way. Another Sunil, and Sunil Rasoni. I know Mr. Rasoni since long. When I was here and in charge of the judges training, Mr. Rasoni approached me through Dr. Sandhya Day and told me, sir, in this campus only, I have got an IT unit and I would like to offer my institution for training to the judges. That time the government did not provide judges with any laptop or iPad or something like that. So I sent a batch of judges where Mr. Kaswa was the director, and when I got a feedback, the judges were really thrilled that they were having access to a system which will fasten their work. I am very thankful to him that he conceived of a law college and on popular demand brought the college to the center of the city. I am quite sure this college has a lot of potentials, and I am very happy to be amongst you and thank Dr. Aprajit for inviting me here. I am a retired person enjoying my life. And when I got this invitation, I was really thrilled because I'll be meeting, an occasion to meet future lawyers, judges, isn't it? Well, when your professor, sorry, I have forgotten the respected teachers who are present here. I think they are almost of my age, younger than me, but quite mature enough to mold you people into good lawyers. Well, friends, when I got this invitation, I felt, well, it's my duty, and particularly I was interested in coming because this is also my hometown. I'll meet the younger generation and interact with them. I'm not going to bore you with a lecture, but it will be more of an interactive session. I hope the guest here would permit me to do that and bear me for some time. You all know Professor Aparajit by this time. Even I am scared of him. If I was to attend his class and if I am not ready with book, pen, pencil, notes, and not a disciplined student, he will not only throw me out of the class but may rusticate also from the room. All of us are scared of him. We think we are back to law college. You are lucky to have him as your principal, a director. For teachers who have made publications, PhD, and Madam has written a book on environment, I congratulate them for their achievement. We want academic development of Nagpur, and you people have contributed to it. Well, friends, now we come to the topic. When I was told by a man that the topic is about appointment of judges and which system should be followed, or the National Judicial Commission, I said, ma'am, by the time I come, probably the judgment of the Supreme Court will come on the issue, and there will be a lot of problems in that. She said, sir, we'll see to it that it doesn't come till you deliver your lecture. Well, friends, this is a question which has been bothering human race since ages. Who should be our judges? The day a child is born, he has that process of decision making, and he knows how to crave for justice. When he wants his mother to feed him, he cries. He knows if he does that, mother comes and feeds him. When he grows up and sees mother and father, he has different criteria to take them as judges. So the child knows when he has to have sympathy, compassion, love and affection, he will hold the mother as a judge. But when he knows he has to have some pocket money to spend, he will think that his father is a better judge. So it is inbuilt in us. We choose our own judges. The present day scenario is, now who is a good judge? The judge who decides in my favor is a good judge. Whether I got a case which is right or wrong is not the crime. So everybody wants a judge who can decide in his favor. You must have heard about a very eminent judge during the Maratha time, Ram Shastri. If you read his stories, you will understand how the judge can be independent and how he can take the mighty king to justice. But friends, there is one thing which we are missing nowadays because of this computer age and all. We have lost touch with our old times. I hope most of you must have heard about Munshi Premchand. And if you have read his short story, Panch Parmeshwar, they will find that in those days, how a person had an authority to appoint a judge for his cause and how justice was delivered. It's a very good story. I will recommend you to read that, and you will understand that what a judge is. Means it is said that through the judge, it is the God who speaks. So justice is of that elevated branch. It is a function which amongst Hindus we believe is bestowed only by Lord Vishnu, and it is that pious function a human being is called to discharge. I have been in the system for so many years and I closely watched it. I tell you that throughout the world this process has been going on in a different way, or it is still at the stage of experiment, and today we are facing that situation in our country. There are 4 basic formulas which are applied for selecting judges. The first formula is the judge should be appointed by the politician, politically appointed guy, exclusively political wisdom. So the king used to appoint judges. But then after certain development and in jurisprudence and all, it was thought that well, this is not very fair because the king appoints the judge, and if there is a case against the king, then probably the judge would be influenced. Earlier the king was himself the judge. Then he started appointing, delegating the powers to people. Then what people thought that, well, let judges appoint judges. But that was also not found to be suitable. Then there was a mix of combination. He let some politician and some judges together appoint judges. That also had its problem. One of the formulas appointed in the Western countries, particularly US, is by election. But that also doesn't go well. Now we are in a phase in our country where we have tried both the formulas. Now we have come to the third one. Earlier the judges were appointed by politicians. Then with the change in the system, the judges took it over to themselves. And that is known as self-appointment. Well, after some time we experienced that that system also doesn't work perfectly. So now with this change in the whole scenario, political changes and all, this bill was brought. And surprisingly, the politicians were so fed up with us, means the judges, that the bill was, I think this is the only bill which was passed unanimously. But there was no difference of opinion. They said enough is enough. But it's a very, very important procedure. What sort of judges we have? You know, our country, our constitution, it promises us justice, political, social and economic. So this is the philosophy of the constitution. And this is how our jurisprudence has developed. You must have all heard, I think Professor Apradit is a master, and he must have definitely introduced you, though you might have not started law subjects also, right from Golaknath to what is that?
Vishwananda
Bhatt. So this is how we have developed the jurisprudence. In Keshwananda Bharti, the Supreme Court felt. The question was whether the Parliament is supreme or Constitution is supreme. Keshwananda Bharti, Supreme Court felt that if you don't hold the Parliament from destroying people's right, they came up with the principle of basic structure. And said there are certain rights given to the people by themselves cannot be tampered by Parliament. And that is how all our fundamental rights and all, they got protected. This is how the jurisprudence developed. Initially our judges were involved in interpreting law. Then slowly things moved to the present day life, the problems we are facing and all sorts of things. And that is how fundamental rights, particularly Article 21, was read out in different aspects. It was extended beyond the comprehension of the people who have failed. Right to life and property does not only mean right to life, but also a dignified life. And though property was removed from fundamental rights, but still it was with a rider that it cannot be taken away without following due process of law, by the procedure established by law. I think that's the proper term. It's very meaningful. What is procedure established by law? Then it went on further to explain that procedure established by law does not mean whatever is provided by law, but it should be also just and fair and reasonable. So we went ahead and we saw to it that all beings in our domain are rendered justice. You must have also come across Maneka Gandhi's case, where this procedure, due procedure was elaborated by Supreme Court and rules of natural justice were incorporated. Now against the mighty state, in order to protect its citizens and their rights, the only institution on which you can have hope is judiciary. There have been radical changes, after Justice Bhagwati introduced public interest litigation. Now at least one page of the paper is full of what is going on. Isn't it? Everybody goes to the court has become accessible, the courts are heavily coming down on state and its policies. If it anyway contravenes fundamental rights or in any manner try to destroy the basic structure. So now from where to get these judges? The question is that, because at times it happens that if a political party in power appoint judges, they would like to have judges from their philosophy or their commitment. That's why it was felt that absolute power may create problems. A judge is not only supposed to protect the legal rights but also be in tune with the present day problems. They can't be totally, cut off with the culture, heritage and the practical aspects of life. You have to think in a way independently and without being influenced by any philosophy, religion or what you call having any type of complexes. From where you get such people? There are countries where the bar councils or bar associations come forward to help out. There will be a lot of research done in the world. Most of the bar councils have suggested procedures and methods by which you can select a good judge. This is really a very difficult problem, because the judge has to be away from all sorts of dependency. But I tell you friends, as it is said normally, that you get the government you deserve, you also get the judges you deserve. Once I was invited by a seminary, you know this, where they groom priest. So the bishop invited me. He wanted me to just give an introductory talk to the priest, the brothers who were into priesthood. Because in the seminary, these brothers are supposed to interact and do social work also, and at times also give assistance if the people are having some problems. So when I went there, after I finished my lecture, I asked the brothers that you should ask me questions so that I can make myself clear. After I made them very comfortable, one of the brother stood up and asked me. He said, "Sir, is it true that there is corruption in judiciary?" I said, "It is true." Then I gave him an example that if you have got a given set of well, and you have to draw water from there, whatever is contaminated will also come. You can't get everything pure. So in a society which is like a well, if I draw people to become judges, I am going to get people of which the society is formed. So basically it is our DNA. It is always felt by a majority of people that corruption helps corruption. Isn't it? We are all for it. Whether it is to please your child or do anything, you offer some prize. I have chocolate. The life in our country starts with admission of the child. The child goes with the parent to the school and he finds his parents giggling over the issue of paying bribe. The school education is so important. When the child learns from his admission day till his professional days that everywhere he was required to pay money to become a doctor, engineer, lawyer or whatever it is. He thinks that this is a better way of doing things. But if this child enters the bar, he adopts the same practice. This is the thing of which you have to be very cautious. So friends, there have been cases where when the judges were appointed politically, there was such consideration that the politicians didn't mind appointing. But once you say politician, the other word is synonymous, we think is corruption. It's not always like that. There are some good people also. In spite of all that corruption, things happen in this country. So, if a person becomes a judge because of an obligation by a politician or by of a judge, then he cannot be called to be independent. You have to select a person who is not obligated by anything. About other appointments, I don't mind. If I am a person in power, suppose I am the CM and I know all of you, and because I want to appoint one of you because I am known to you or you are known to me, it's not wrong. But when I am selecting one of you, I should select the best person. That is the choice. Because a known devil is better than an unknown person, isn't it? It's a very complex procedure, and I can only share something as to how we work when I was in the college. I'm quite sure in the session you will be deliberating on all those issues, academic issues and all. I'm only telling you the normal procedure. So where the judges of subordinate judiciary is concerned, they are appointed by PSC, Public Service Commission. The judges of the higher class, district judge level and all, exclusively by the High Court. Now a lot of lawyers come and ask me, sir, for getting selected as a judge or a magistrate, whether corruption is there, like in police recruitment. They say if you pay 5 lakh rupees, you can become a constable or something. I said no, it's totally wrong. People who are professing this do not know the system. Because PSC there is an examination. When you pass the examination, you are shortlisted for interview, and the best candidates are taken. And the member of the PSC is a High Court judge, who is a technical. In case of district judges also, there is an examination, you shortlist the candidates, and then on merits, judges are selected. Otherwise, I can say for myself, I would never have been selected as a judge. I don't say that I was most meritorious. There was very less competition. Because all the brilliant lawyers don't come and join the judiciary. And then they accuse from the bar. If you got some standard, the responsibility is yours. See, if you decide to become a judge, you have to adopt the life of a monk. You cannot go on, big cars like Audi, Mercedes and BMWs. Have parties in 5-star hotels. Because the judge's salary is less than what a good advocate appears earns per day per appearance. You must have read the list of fees which the Supreme Court lawyers are charging. Isn't it? Some of them are charging so much that it will be equal to my annual salary. So why they will become judges? But that is no argument. A lot of good people also come forward. But once you become a judge, you are like a monk. Why we respect monks? Because they are serving the society. So that's the honor. I always used to say, and I still confirm that the scholarship lies in the bar and the honor lies with the judge. The scholarship is the knowledge. If the bar is prepared, he can share knowledge with the judge. And the honor of deciding rightly lies with the court. So that is the concept. And judges are selected from bar. And if the bar is strong and upright, they will have upright and strong judges. And once you become a judge, then it is up to you how you perform. So this is a whole process which is very complicated. I tell you that if you feel that you can serve the society, you should become judges, because we want good judges and magistrates. If the society does not contribute or the bar does not contribute, then probably you can't complain. Now among the system I was telling you, in about 25 years back, we came up with a concept of Indian Judicial Service. That means like IS officers, members of the bar would be taken up as judges at a young age, trained in academies, and they will then go to the higher courts. So we started with a quota of 50-50, 50 from service, 50 from bar. But we take lawyers from high court bar directly, but there's like a, they call it young blood. But they think that service judges have old blood. I'm not criticizing the system, but that did not work out because the states objected. So the state said the appointment of district judges is their prerogative. So they never wanted to give away their rights. So the matter is still under controversy. And we have got a National Judicial Academy also and all those things. We have got infrastructure ready. If one day the state decide, probably most of the judges would be taken from the cadre, and there will be no question of indulging into malpractices and all those. In the sense that a person would remain a judge as a career. Second most important aspect of this is, if you want the judiciary to be non-corrupt and upright, there should be a good vigilance system. See, you may feel that I am a monk, but after 5 years of my job, I may become corrupt. So the system should be such that if they find that one of the judges are corrupt, he should be eliminated from the system. Further, the judges have to be insulated from political interference, because unless they are insulated, it will not be possible to keep them independent. I have gone through some debates when the separation of judiciary and executive was being discussed, and I think that is the second phase of the session. Appointment of judges, placement, transfer, posting, everything is controlled by judiciary. The state has no role in the matter, and that is to keep the state or executive power away. Otherwise you get influence, isn't it? Transfer, placement, posting. You'll be surprised, when I became a judge of the High Court in 96, I was sitting with the then Chief Justice, Mr. M. Shah, and Mr. Nani Palkiwala appeared in the matter, and the question was about the income tax tribunal. And Mr. Nani Palkiwala argued on the same principle about independence of judiciary and separating the judiciary from the executive. The income tax tribunal chairman and members were appointed by Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Corporate Affairs used to decide about their placement, posting and all this. Mr. Palkiwala said that this power itself is so dangerous that if the man does not toe the line, the executive can throw him to a place where it will be uncomfortable. So unless the influence of the executive is withdrawn, the judges cannot be independent. Similarly, in case of even punishment and vigilance, it is left to the judiciary. It's only in case, it's such a difficult proposition, but High Court judges and Supreme Court judges can only be removed by impeachment. Why this protection? Because day in, day out, we are deciding cases against the government. See, if I decide a case against the Chief Minister, we know what happened when the judge decided a case against Indira Gandhi and what fate he met. This is what happens. So, they should be away from these influences and practices. But they cannot be made absolute powerhouses, because they may misuse and abuse the power. So this is another aspect. A good selection system and a good vigilance system, which keeps as a check and balance. The best part in the judicial institution is it is fully in control by the checks and balances. like you have powers of appeals, revisions, which keeps the system in check. So if one judge has committed a wrong, it can be for two reasons. Either by corruption can be anything, by money, political influence, or relative or something like that. And secondly, incompetence. So both these get checked in appeals, revisions and reviews. So we have a check and balance system, we have everything, and we have good judges. See, the problem with our institution is that if one judge is caught for corruption, the whole institutions come down. We all know this, it's a very common thing. In executive services, if you come to know that the police officer is corrupt, you don't mind. They are supposed to be corrupt. Income tax department, accept it. State tax department. You go to corporation, you go to any government office, Mantralaya. It is a set practice. But that you can't expect in court. Because a man who is a victim of all these institutions come to court. And if you are corrupt there also, then God save the country. So corruption is a very big issue before us. So we want judges, we want people to come forward and man this institution who are of character, having integrity, intelligence and industry. So friends, prepare. You are preparing for yourself to enter the law profession. I want you to study hard and then take a decision. Both are serving, lawyers and judges, both are serving the people. But if good lawyers sacrifice their practice and become monks, I am quite sure it will definitely benefit the society. So I think this is more than enough as a sermon. I wish you all best in life. And I tell you one thing, that still Indian judiciary carries a very good reputation in the world. Thank you very much.
Sweetness of tone, clarity of syllables, and isolation of words, proper intonation and confidence, accompanied with rhythm, indicates a good speaker. Thank you, sir, for clinching the matter related to success in simple words.
We now end up with our inauguration